Shepherds love you like a parent and want you to be dependent on Jesus. He says, they make much of you, but for no good purpose. Saying they're flattering you. They're saying, good job, well done, keep going, but for no purpose. They want to shut you out that you may make much of them. So they're encouraging these Galatians to be obedient to the law, but not for a good purpose. They're saying, you're doing well, you're doing good, but not for a good purpose. Paul's saying, if someone does a good job, you should definitely congratulate them. I see how Jesus is changing you. I see how you've repented of this, and that's great. Good job. He's saying, that's good. But these guys aren't doing that. They're flattering you so that you can flatter them. They're lifting you up so that you will lift them up. They're using you like a prostitute. That's what Paul's saying. Shepherds love you like a parent. I want you to be dependent on Jesus. Wolves use you like a prostitute. They want you to be dependent on them. It says it's always good to be made much of for a good purpose. And not only when I'm present with you. Apparently, the Galatians would act a certain way around Paul, and then they would act differently when he's gone. When Paul's around, apparently they would try to, act well and love and humble and everything. And Paul's like, that's awesome. I see Jesus working in you. And then he hears that when he leaves, they're different. He's like, it's good to be encouraged for a good purpose, not only when I'm present with you. And he says, my little children, for whom I am again in the anguish of childbirth until Christ is formed in you. I wish I could be present with you now and change my tone, for I am perplexed about you. Here's the thing. You notice that Paul is speaking like a mother giving birth? He's saying, I'm in anguish over you because I hear that you're deserting the gospel. That's how pastors love you. They love you with the heart of a parent. You're my children. I care about you. I want Christ to be formed in you. I want you, there's kind of a twofold way that you can see that. Christ to be formed in you would at first be, see you depend on Jesus alone for your salvation. It's like, I'm in anguish until Christ is formed in you. These false teachers who were telling them they could be saved through their works, they didn't care. They didn't care about the Galatians. They were using them. If the Galatians would have rejected their false gospel, they'd have just left. Paul planted this church, leaves, hears that they're deserting, and he writes them this heartfelt, long letter to help them know, no, don't turn. Don't turn to your works, it's Jesus. That's a shepherd. That's how your pastors here love you. We love you like children. We love you and we want you to be dependent on Jesus, just like Paul wants these Galatians. We don't want you to be dependent on us. We don't want to use you. We don't want you to be used. But a lot of times, I think Pastor Nate and Pastor James can say yes to this. A lot of times we're just in anguish because we want you to be dependent on Jesus. Sometimes we see certain people in the church that it may seem like they're really depending on something else. They're looking to idols, and they'll say with me, sometimes it's just anguish. Because we desperately want you to look to Jesus, to trust Jesus, to depend on Him alone. That's how shepherds should love you. We want to get better at that. We want to look to you and know that we will be held accountable for you, that you're just like our children. We don't want to look down on you, but we want you to be dependent on Jesus, not on us.